there, it's me, Helena, from HelenaWoods.com, leading astrocartographer, taking you around the world and teaching you the power of place. In today's vlog, I'm going to take you around Paris and talk about the key indicators that I see time and time again with some of the most successful people. As a Scorpio rising, I'm an investigator, a detective, a researcher. I'm obsessed with humans and human psychology, and I love understanding what are the key indicators in someone's birth chart that show that someone will be very driven, resilient, successful in their businesses, in their endeavors. Who are the people that really make it and go for it versus the people that maybe have a little bit of a harder time? So in this episode, I'm going to share with you the top indicators that I frequently see time and time again and inspire you. This video is filled with inspiration, advice, tips, and I hope that you stick around to the very end because I've got a lot of places here in Paris that I can't wait to show you here on the left bank. All my favorite spots that the locals love to go to. If you're new around here, welcome to Helena Woods Astrology. Definitely subscribe to my podcast, Cosmic Compass, the leading astrocartography podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Get your favorite cozy drink ready. Let's get started. Now, before we get started with today's video, I do want to give the disclaimer that if you don't have any of these placements, you do not need not fear, because, lest you forget, you are a magical creature. You are a magical human. You are a magical soul. And your birth chart shows you your talents, gifts, and what you're naturally good at. And if you have some of these placements, amazing. Write them down, lean into them. But if you don't, there are so many wonderful indicators and signs in a birth chart that show that you will be successful. So please do not take what I'm about to say to heart. And this brings me to my first tip. Do not be a victim in mindset to your life, to your circumstances, to outside things outside of you. If you're new to my world, you don't know my backstory. But if you've been following me for any length of time, if you've watched any of my videos, you know my backstory, my childhood. Resilience is a part of my DNA. And let me tell you, if you want to have a successful life in anything, you need to be strong. You need to get back up and have resilience. So if you don't have any of these placements that I'm about to share with you, and then you make it a big story, a big narrative, a big boo,
life is hard for me because I don't have these placements.
Stop that.
Stop it, get back up, and get out there. I'm a straight shooter. I'm a tough nugget. I'm going to tell it to you like it is, because some people need to hear this. Some people need to stop wallowing in despair and complaining about their life. They need to get up and get out there, take massive action in their life. So let's get started with the first indicator in the birth chart. One of the first things that you'll find about really successful people who are just out there killing it in whatever field they're in, is they are action takers. Now, if you have one of these key astrology placements, you have this gift innately within you. But even if you don't have one of these placements, you can harness this gift. You can accentuate this ability just through repetition, habit, and routine. Intentional practice will give you this gift even if you're not born with it. But for those of you that have this placement, you're going to find that it's a lot easier for you than maybe for someone else. And that is Mars. Now, Mars is the planet of drive, assertion, action, anger, aggression. Those who have Mars in a strong position natally, we're talking Mars in domicile or exaltation, are going to find that taking action is a lot easier than for other people. So the top best position, I think, for Mars is Mars in Scorpio. Hands down, in my research, consistently, the people that are out there making huge moves and getting things done, making their dreams happen, they got Mars in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio is so strong. These are action takers. These people go for what they want, and they're strategic too. They don't work super hard like Mars in Aries does. Mars in Scorpio works smart, not hard. And if we want to work hard, that's more Mars in Aries territory. Mars in Aries is also really strong. You know, it's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Mars in Aries is all about courage and taking action and being brave and being out on the front lines and doing things first. And there's a lot to be said about successful people are the people who don't overthink things or hold back. They're out there doing it first before everyone else. That's why they're so successful. And then the other placement that's really strong is Mars in Capricorn, the exaltation degree. This is a place of skill. Thinking about the long game, thinking about the enduringness, the longevity, the legacy of the work, and building strong foundations to outlive you, outlast you, legacy. That's what we talk about when we talk about Capricorn. Some other telltale signs I love to see in a birth chart. for seeing someone being very resilient, confident, and that's where a lot of success comes from, right? It doesn't necessarily come from the birth chart. It comes from the resilience, the mindset, the bounce back rate. How quickly do you bounce back from setbacks, from having failures? How quickly do you bounce back from that? And so other placements that I like to see, I love to see Sun on the Midheaven, obviously. I love to see a Moon-Mars conjunction, which a lot of people would say,
Ooh, Moon-Mars? Why Moon-Mars?
well, these are leaders. These are people who are self-assertive. They're good at having boundaries. They're good at going after what they want. Their emotions, they can feel very driven, very fired up, wanting to go. It's like their emotions and their drive is connected, which can be very helpful for going after what you want in life. For instance, I got my Moon on my Midheaven trined by my Mars. So it's like there's this natural motivation that my emotions and my actions are always kind of linked up and helping one another. But I also like to see a Venus-Mars conjunction. You know, Venus-Mars conjunctions, by the way, I see so many musicians, artists, but people who are in the music scene, in the dance scene, they're in the arts in some way, the performing arts. Venus-Mars conjunctions are so big for this. And there is a lot of drive, and the drive is really supported by that benefic Venus being so close by, that planet of action. One thing I've noticed about a lot of successful people is they don't doubt themselves. And if they do doubt themselves, well, they feel the fear and they do it anyway. The most successful people, and I had a reading with someone who's an icon, a legend in their field. She's an industry titan in the manifestation world. And she is someone who moves so quickly. And I've noticed this with so many people that are just so successful in business, in life, and going after their dreams. They move. They don't second guess themselves. And if they do, the fear's in here, but they don't allow that to deter them from taking action. If you want to make things happen in your life, if you want to have a lot of success, I recommend that you become someone who takes action consistently. Even if it's not big actions every day, it's small micro steps every day. And it's not allowing your fear to deter you or overcomplicate things or make you overthink the process of how you're going to do things. Instead of sitting in this waffling energy of going back and forth and sitting in this stagnant, stuck energy of,
ooh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't decide.
Stop.
We've got to make a decision when it comes to living our lives fully and taking chances on ourselves. Because the fact of the matter is that life is short. Life is fleeting. Life is fragile. We're here for a blip of time and then we're gone. Poof.
Hasta la vista.
So if you're gonna do something with your life, go forth, conquer, and take massive action. Let's go. Get that Mars activated in your chart. Take you inside and show you the local spot for the Parisians, where the Parisians shop here in Paris. Before we do that, the other key important ingredient for having success in your life is being a good communicator, being someone who is good at effective messaging, marketing, sharing, being a storyteller. Now, what does this all come down to? The planet Mercury. Mercury, the planet of messaging, commerce, and coin. We're talking about making money. When we're talking about business, we are talking about Mercury. Now, here are some placements that you might not expect that are actually really good at effective business and marketing. Let's get started. Come, walk with me. Mercury and Scorpio, skilled researchers, really good at investigative work and noticing what is lacking in the markets. When we're talking about finding missing gaps in a market or industry, what is the thing that people are needing and how can you create resources or systems in order to support the people and fill in the gap? We're talking a lot about Scorpio energy here. Mercury and Scorpio, Mercury-Pluto conjunctions. Powerful, skillful, resourceful at effective business and marketing. Let's keep going. Welcome to Le Bon Marché, the local spot here in Paris where all the Parisians shop. This is where they get their makeup. This is where they get their bags, their clothing, their handbags, even their groceries and their shoes. Let's take a look around. Another Mercury placement that you might not expect, Mercury in its fallen position of Pisces. Mercury and Pisces people, do not underestimate them. You might think that Mercury and Pisces is confusing or all over the place, scattered, or a little bit too poetic, but let me tell you, they are effective storytellers. Mercury and Pisces people are great at poetry, songwriting, lyricists, but they're also good at telling a story from beginning, middle to end, and sharing important lessons or themes or creating a fantastic world for the audience to lean into. Mercury in Pisces has a gift. And of course, we can't forget the placements in astrology where Mercury is really talented and skilled. Mercury in Virgo, where it's exalted and in domicile, and also Mercury in Gemini, which is actually very good at marketing, sales, and communication. When we have Mercury in Gemini or Virgo, that's just an automatic talent or gift that someone has in their birth chart. So use it effectively. Lean into it. Use it. When I started using my Mercury in Gemini gift actively in my online business, showing up on YouTube, social media, all the things, and I started really using Mercury in Gemini well in my life, that's when I started having a lot more success versus the times when I was more focused on visual art and photography and still photographs and editing. That was not utilizing my natural gifts and talents that I was born with. So when we start to understand our placements, this is where we can really activate and accentuate and have more ease and flow and more results in our life by knowing our birth charts. And this is why Natal Promise, my birth chart course, is available so that you can start learning this now. How to read any chart, whether it's an electional chart or a horary chart or a birth chart. Being able to read any chart is really important, especially if you're a beginner and you don't know how to read timing or location yet. I highly recommend getting started learning how to read birth charts in my Natal Promise course, which you can find in the link down below in the description. It is available all year round so that you can get started. We've got workbooks, video modules, and tons of examples so that you can see how to apply this information as a beginner to read any birth chart. And if you want to join our live rounds, I do host Natal Promise live with live class calls and study groups and breakout sessions so that you can implement and integrate the work that you're learning in the live program, which runs twice a year. Check out the link down below in the description and send me a message on Instagram if you have any questions. All right, now here's the big one, Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of faith, belief, and it's really big on mindset. When we think about Jupiter, we're thinking about teachers, mindset leaders, people in personal development. And do you want to know what is the number one thing that I see consistently across the board with all thought leaders, authors, public speakers, or people that work in personal development or the teaching realm and are really big online, like everyone that you know in the personal development world? You know what they have in common? A very strong Jupiter. And this is because Jupiter is a teacher, but a Jupiter also represents faith, belief, and mindset, and optimism. And the thing you gotta know is that people who are really successful, people who make their big visions an actual reality, they are people that believe in what they do. They believe that their movement is bigger than them. They're building movements, they're building missions. The mission is bigger than just them in their life. It's beyond them. And a strong Jupiter type person is going to have that. And so what are the key indicators? Let's walk through the Jupiter placements that are key for a lot of successful people, or commonality I've seen with a lot of successful people. Number one, and this is the most common placement with Jupiter and Sag people, people who were born during that year of Jupiter and Sagittarius. This is one of the biggest commonalities I see with so many people in personal development, YouTubers, authors, podcasters. The Jupiter and Sagittarius people, man, they are optimistic. They believe in themselves. They have this relentless happiness and perky enthusiasm that is just contagious. And honestly, that's probably why they do so well. That's probably why they're so successful, is because that infectious, contagious energy, it is a joy to be around. And people like to be around other happy people that are actually making their dreams happen in life. It's just fact of the matter. Another big commonality is Sun-Jupiter conjunctions or oppositions. I find a lot of people who really believe in themselves and are really confident in all their undertakings, which makes for a great entrepreneur or business owner, are people who have the Sun conjunct Jupiter or Sun opposing Jupiter. Even Sun square Jupiter, like the hard aspects between the Sun and Jupiter, are very common that I see. Another one is Moon-Jupiter. So Moon-Jupiter conjunctions, Moon-Jupiter oppositions, and then one more more that I have seen consistently with people is Venus, Jupiter conjunctions and oppositions. But I would say if we wanted to rank them, Sun, Jupiter at the top, Moon, Jupiter second, Venus, Jupiter third. But this is something I see for a lot of people who are very successful and make their dreams happen, make their dreams a reality. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any of these placements, or if you know anyone who has these placements. And chances are, I bet a lot of you guys have a strong Jupiter or some Jupiterian stuff in your chart, like I've mentioned, because I'm a very Jupiter type person, and I usually attract a lot of Jupiter type people in my life, my students, my clients, my friends. I have so many strong Jupiter type people, whether it's Sun Jupiter conjunction, Moon Jupiter conjunction, Venus opposing Jupiter, or like Jupiter and Sag, Jupiter and Pisces type people, like Jupiter on the midheaven, Jupiter on the ascendant. You know that saying, birds of a feather flock together? Well, this is something I see. I attract a lot of Jupiter people in my life, and I'd love to hear from you guys down below if you are a Jupiter type person. Oh, hi. Now, a lot of these things that I've been sharing with you, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, these are just a few of the things that I see often that a lot of successful people have. But there's some other things, like Saturn on the midheaven. When I see Saturn on the midheaven, it's like, oh, the public, the people really take this person seriously. They are an authority in their field. Or Sagittarius risings. These people have big vision. They're entrepreneurs, they're natural innovators, and they have so much natural resilience to keep getting up and bouncing back. Even if they have Saturn on the ascendant, they're Sag rising. Chances are they got a lot of hope and faith within them innately. And there are other things too, but before we do, I want to show you a little quick tour of the Luxembourg Gardens, which are my favorite here in Paris. Let's go. The Jardin de Luxembourg is one of my favorite parks here in Paris. I would say, Alex, is that your favorite park or no?
No, I like the Tuileries better, but it's one of my favorites.
He loves the Tuileries. Tuileries is a little grand for me. It's on the right bank. The right bank is definitely a lot fancier, schmancier, wealthier, big, grand buildings. The Louvre is there. I like the right bank, but the left bank is more quaint. It's a lot of the locals that live on this side. And we got, the Latin Quarter here. We've got the Luxembourg Gardens. We got the Saint-Germain area, which is my favorite part of Paris to be hanging out in. And so I really love this area, and it's really a must. If you're going to visit Paris, you gotta check out the Saint-Germain, the 7th arrondissement, and spend some time here on the left bank. Any planet conjunct the midheaven. Uranus on the MC, it's like they've got a vision. They're entrepreneurs, they're business owners, they're innovators, they're creative types, they're people that are in tech, AI, or even astrology. When Uranus is on the midheaven, it's like, oh, this person's work has to do with the collective in some way. Having any planet on the midheaven, right? That's going to show that someone's, very driven toward making an impact for the collective. They're more energetically leaning toward role, rank, reputation, what the midheaven represents, which is your public image. And so when we have a planet that's on the MC, it can show that someone's desires, whether it's the moon on the MC, the emotional heart and desires, the sun on the MC, they're naturally illuminated and shine when they're public. Venus on the MC, they're artists, it's something that they value, they appreciate, career type things. Jupiter on the midheaven, one of my favorite astrologers, Susan Goodman. We all know Susan Goodman, right? Sun signs. She's one of my biggest inspirations and expanders, and she is Jupiter on the midheaven. I find Jupiter on the midheaven people tend to be very successful, very fortunate, have a lot of, opportunities and wonderful things that can come to them for career. So having planets on the midheaven is a big one, but there's other placements that I love to see as well. I find a lot of Aquarius risings have a lot of success, and I wonder if it's because a lot of what Aquarius risings are kind of geared toward is like innovation, helping people, problem solving, mental stimulation, or like solving problems for people in the mental realm, right? Working in social media, working online, working in tech, working in astrology. I see a lot of Aquarius risings can actually have a lot of success, especially specifically with social media, community-driven work, and the internet. And so if you have any of these placements, I want to encourage you to lean in, to show up for yourself, to be brave, to take action, and even when you are afraid to, even if you don't know the how, you don't know the process of how you're going to make it work, I encourage you to show up, to get out there anyway. And if you want to go deeper on messaging and marketing and branding and the psychology behind how to make more money, how to shine in your business and be seen, check out my fully booked course, which I'll include a link down below. It's an 8-hour course. It's a deep dive. You're going to love it. It was recorded live, and there's so much deep messaging, marketing. I'm sharing everything that I know with you on business strategies. If you want to learn how to have a successful business online, how to get your work out there into the hands of more people, and make a lot of money doing it, check out the fully booked course down below. I'll include a link in the description. And I'm excited for you to start learning this and start applying this and integrating this into your business ASAP so that you can live a life where you thrive and are making a contribution and an impact to help more people on this beautiful planet. Because I believe that's part of why we're here. I believe we as humans are here to help support others in some way, to make a difference, to live our lives and lead with light and then pass that light on to other people. So if you resonated with this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. What are some of your placements that maybe you heard in this episode that you resonate with or that you feel? And also share in the comments down below what you are calling in your life right now. What are you deciding? What are you committing? What are you normalizing in your life that you're going to start deciding right now how you're going to start showing up and shining this year? I'll see you in the next episode here on the YouTube channel, and happy Astro Travels. Alex and I are just walking around after dinner. Look at that beauty. Look at that art. This is Paris. Alex and I were just talking about how in Paris it's best in the spring. Spring is best for Paris and fall is best for New York. New York is most magical in the fall, but Paris is most magical in the spring. So if you can only come to Paris in one season, make it end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah.
Last week of April, first 2 weeks of May. It's just, the weather is perfect. It's not hot, it's not gross yet. It's amazing.